Hey Tommy, have you ever wondered what cars are most likely to get you a speeding ticket?
Yes, that's a great question.
Yeah, and today, because of a story that we ran on TFL Car, our man Zach wrote up, we can actually tell you what cars and truck are the top 10 cars that are most likely to get you a speeding ticket. So where do we get this information from?
Well, there's a company called Insurify that recently published a report. They've analyzed 2.5 million car insurance applications and have looked at the individual models and seen which cars have had the most past speeding violations. Now the average is 10.54% for cars in the US, but some of these cars have seen much higher rates of violations when it comes to speeding.
Yeah, so we're going to do it in a typical TFL fashion, and we're going to count them from 10 down to 1. The one car that you're more likely to get a speeding ticket than any other, and give your guesses right now. Put them in the comments below, see if you can figure it out, because it's not that surprising. But at number 10, Tommy, is an oldie but a goodie, and I mean that. The Nissan 350Z. It's got an insurance percentage of 14.65, compared to the 10.5. So you're a little bit more likely to get a ticket in the 350 than you are in most other vehicles.
Well, this makes sense, right? Because the 350Z is a vehicle.
It's slow.
Well, no, it's not that slow. It's a car that appeals to kind of the younger generation, people that maybe are more likely to speed.
Like you?
Yeah, like me, exactly. Except I drive like my grandma. But, they're more affordable now too, so people perhaps on lower budgets can also afford them. It makes total sense why that car is on the list.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a car that, has gotten fast and furioused. Is that a thing?
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
one of those cars that has that reputation of being slammed and being, driven a quarter mile at a time. Is that the way you live your life, by the way? A quarter mile at a time?
That's how the next car on our list lives its life. It is the Dodge Charger. And this is funny because a lot of police drive Chargers. So it's Chargers pulling over Chargers apparently. But Chargers have a percentage of 14.71, which is much higher than the 10.54% of models that come into Insurify. So this is a very interesting study. And the Charger makes sense once again. Higher performance vehicle. Well, sort of, depends.
Well, it depends. I mean, you can get the Pentastar or you can get the Hellcat. I mean, there's a wide spectrum of performance there.
I would love to know what the breakdown is based on engine, because I bet even a lot of V6 Chargers are the ones that are speeding. It seems like on the road I see a lot of the Pentastar or even the older 3.5 liter V6s that are the ones blowing past me.
Well, let's face it, that car comes with a lot of attitude.
It does.
And a lot of attitude by its owners. So I don't know if you guys been to a drag strip recently, but we've been to one quite a number of times this summer, and I would say that the Charger/Challenger twins are some of the most popular cars out there. So that to me suggested people who go drag racing also drive these cars, which would make a lot of sense. And let's go to number 8 on our list, Tommy, which is the only truck in this list. So what is it?
It's a Dodge Ram, specifically the 2500.
Not the 1500.
No, the heavy duty.
Right.
And it's funny that we don't see a Chevy or a Ford.
You think it's a Cummins?
No, I just think it's Dodge attracts people with their, they've got that racy marketing campaign.
Yeah, that's true. The Dodge brothers, right?
Yeah, and you've seen all those commercials.
Outlaws.
You've seen all those commercials of people driving really fast in Dodge cars and apparently Dodge trucks, but specifically the 2500 is on this list.
So you think they take that seriously? That saying, drive it like you stole it?
I just think Dodge attracts fast drivers, or I should say
fast drivers are attracted to Dodge. And speaking of fast drivers in Dodge, of course, the next one on our list is what, Tommy?
It's a Challenger, so this one's probably not that surprising, but the two-door muscle car, one of the most iconic muscle cars, is of course going to be probably pretty high on the list. But interestingly enough, once again, we don't see Mustang on this list, and we also don't see Camaro.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, that only you've got 3 Dodges in a row, and of course the Challenger, I think, out of any car that is currently made, has by far the most attitude. And what I mean by that is, the Challenger is the guy who walks into the bar, looks at you and punches you in the face even before he asks the question of why you're looking at my girlfriend.
And the next car is not like that. It is the Hyundai Veloster.
That's surprising.
I don't think it's surprising. It's
I think it is.
It's kind of like the affordable hatch for people that want to make it seem like they drive a hot hatch, and now they can drive the hot version, the N. I think that one makes total sense. Once again, like more affordable cars that are attractive to like 20, 30 somethings.
Yeah.
Those are, I believe, to be the age group that are going to drive the quickest.
Unless you get the Veloster N, the latest generation of Veloster is fast and speedy and quick. The previous generations were not.
I don't think it matters though. I think it's the way people drive. I mean,
you don't think it matters that the car is just kind of, it's basically an economy car, sort of posing as a performance car?
It matters to some extent, but 180 horsepower, whatever it had, is plenty to get you past 45 miles an hour, where you might get a speeding ticket.
No, we're halfway down the list, Tommy, and number 5 is baffling. I don't get that.
Well, it's not that baffling, though.
Okay, what is it?
My same argument applies to this one, the Dodge Dart.
Maybe the name is the only thing that's quick about it.
Yeah, but it's like an affordable car, looks kind of zippy. People might drive it pretty zippy. I feel like I see a lot of Dodge Darts cruising down the left lane of the highway doing like 10, 15 over.
Let's face it, the Dodge Dart was not a success for FCA. Maybe the fact that, the Dodge Dart is not the kind of car that you're going to take white glove care of may be the reason. Maybe you just drive that thing like it's a rent-a-car, and that's why you drive it quick.
Maybe
it is because it is a rent-a-car.
Maybe it's because it is a rental car.
Maybe all rent-a-car people are getting pulled over. Now we're getting kind of into an interesting car. What's the next one?
Infiniti G37.
Yeah.
Another car very popular among the tuning crowd.
15.45%.
Yep.
Which is 5% higher than the national average.
Yep, another car, highly tunable, highly easy to kind of, make quick-ish, pretty quick.
Yeah. It's funny. The Infiniti, for you guys who aren't aware, specifically the G37 has become kind of this go-to car for a lot of tuners. It's just, it's an easy car to make quick. Parts are readily available. It's not expensive. It doesn't carry the baggage of the Z, which shares, a lot of components with. And it's just a car that a lot of people are tuning, and they look good tuned. I think the reason for that actually is because they're affordable, right? They're actually well screwed together. They last. They have a lot of durability, but because they're Infinitis, they're actually pretty affordable. And they're rear-wheel drive.
Next on our list is a car that I don't know how you get past the speed limit.
I don't know. Yeah, this one is completely baffling to me.
So at 15.9% is the Subaru Impreza. Period. Like just the normal Impreza.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. I mean, that to me is the definition of an economy car that people use to commute. Maybe these are people that are hoping for a more powerful Subaru, and so they've got that need for speed, but they don't have the budget for it. And so, look, you can get a speeding ticket going 45 miles an hour in a 25 zone, right? It's not like...
Will an Impreza do 45?
Downhill with the wind.
And the other thing too is, maybe they've got dogs at home, right? They really gotta feed those dogs.
And the dogs are driving them? What are you saying?
No, that dog's gotta go out, right?
I've heard dogs don't respect speed limits, Tommy.
Love is what makes a Subaru, but you can only love that dog if you're with it.
You may have seen those commercials. I've heard the dogs like to drive fast.
Yep.
Very fast.
Very fast.
Especially if they're fast dogs.
So,
all right, now we're down to the top 2. What is number 2 on our list?
So the last 4 cars or so have been hovering around 15.5%.
And now it jumps a lot.
Yeah, so we're at 17.38%. Volkswagen GTI.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. The original hot hatch. We've got 7 generations of GTIs out there. Right, that Mark 7 is what actually we're heading to Mark 8 now, that we're at. And let's face it, the Volkswagen GTI has a whole community built around it. It is a car that you take a basic, they were the first ones to do it, transportation hatchback and turn it into something much more. Right?
Yeah, and it was
turn it into fun on wheels.
Exactly. Yeah, it was brilliant when it debuted in the 70s, and it's still brilliant today. It's still kind of the go-to performance car for under 25 grand or so.
Yeah, it's like the kind of car that if you're gonna go get your dog food for your dog, who's hopefully not driving, right? You're gonna make that trip fun and you're gonna make it fast.
I don't understand that.
I'm just saying, everyday errands become fun and fast.
Oh, I gotcha.
You're overthinking it.
I was overthinking it. Yeah. So number 1 on our list, that is the most percentage by a huge margin, is the Subaru WRX.
What's the percentage?
20.49. Double the national average. And it's a big gap over even the Golf GTI as well. WRX, once again, it's the combination. It is quick.
Yeah.
It is sporty looking, and it is bought by people who are in that speedy demographic.
Yeah, you know, it's the kind of car that I think owners who like to drive fast are attracted to, or you could flip it on its head. You know, it's the kind of car that attracts owners who want to drive fast.
There you go.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this list also has to do with cars that have been around a while. You know, I mean, what you don't see are the competitors for these. Like, you know, I would think the Focus RS would be on this list because that's a direct competitor to the Subaru WRX. So I'm assuming that the same guy or gal who wants a WRX would want an RS or an ST, right? But yet you don't see those cars here.
Yeah, but we're missing a few big ones. Like the
what?
Mustang's been around for a while.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's not on the list. Camaro's been around for a while. So Insurify, I'd be curious to see why that is and see where those models stand, because they said they've analyzed 2.5 million insurance applications. So
yeah, and if you're interested in those, the details of, you know, how they got to these numbers, head on over to tflcar.com, read the story yourself, and you can get a much deeper dive in on this. And if you like the shirt that Tommy and I are wearing,
yep, click the link to the Duck Company in the description below.
Duck Company.
That's what I said.
You said Deck Company.
Duck.
What do you say, Matt?
A duck.
Did it? I thought you said Deck.
No, Duck Company. It's
Anyway, they're a local company that we work with, and they quack.
Yep, they quack.
All right, see you guys next time. Ciao.